I really loved that. It was exhausting. Exhausting. I feel like I'm telling tales out of school, but I don't mind now. I say I'm at an age where I tell the truth. I don't think Evelyn was a very happy person. So as I explored her, I got more and more into the very depths of her being, which were ambitious depths. She did not go gentle into that good night, ladies and gentlemen. No, she did not. And I liked her, you know? So playing that night after night, you have to find the thing. Why would you stay with a man for 27 years? It was cruel to you. Dismissive of you. Why would you? Why would you say actresses should never have children? Which is selfish. I don't believe it's true. Anyway, we're not going to talk about heaven anymore. Next. Yeah.
I'd like to ask this question over confessions.
Hold your microphone closer to your...
A quick one-word answer to your thought, the first thought you have when I mentioned the cast of Voyager.
Love.
Well...
Are we doing free association?
The first thing that comes to your mind is Robert Picard.
Robert who? Is he saying Picardo?
Yes.
Best friend.
Robert Beltran.
Reluctant.
Duncan McNeil.
Adorable.
Roxana Biggs.
Who? I really can't hear you. Roxanne?
Roxana Biggs.
Oh, Roxanne Dawson. She hates to go by her married name. Very ambitious girl. Terrific.
We might need some audience participation here. I don't remember everyone's names. Airway.
John Ethan Phillips. My soul.
Very right.
Good girl. She was up against a lot, including me. It could not have been fun for her to walk into that atmosphere. I know everybody wants to hear about her. Next to sex, everybody wants to know, what might happen to you and Gary Ryan? What happened was, I thought, foolishly, they'd let me try to win the day on the strength of my captaincy alone. That finally Paramount would step up to the plate in a way that didn't ask or beg for the stupidity of the young male demographic, meaning knockers and all that stuff. But I think that our numbers stayed on a level for the first 3 seasons, and they wanted them to go up. So they thought that sex would do it. And they found this beautiful girl with a body that was just... I mean, I begged them to let me do the first scene, where she beams in. Did you see that scene? She beams in from the feet all the way up. I begged them to let me do the scene the way I think it should have been done. What was upsetting to me was not Jerry Ryan, God bless her, was the fact that once again, our society thought that it was necessary to inject that component, and I just didn't. So I think my feelings were, you know, my pride was hurt, my feathers were ruffled. But for herself, she's a good girl.
What about Ethan Phillips?
Who?
Ethan Phillips?
I said my soul.
Jennifer...
Clearly you're not the avid Voyager fan. I love them all. Tim Russ, all of them. Great. Jared Wong, hang on. Thank you. Thank you. Good question. Yes, yes.
Mrs. Mulgrew.
Mrs.?
Miss.
No, Miss. It's my maiden name. I think women should keep their names.
I agree.
I never quite understood that. Now, I've been married twice. For those of you who didn't know. I know it's appalling. I've been married twice. And I just think it's so weird. Why would you take his name? What's that going to do for you? What is it really going to do for you? I mean, does it do something for taxes or something? Oh, keep your own. Yes. Yes, what's your question?
At any rate, as far as you and Chakotay go, they're fooling anybody. There was something going on.
There was something going on with who, Chakotay?
I think wanted to say
We're gonna have a fight. What do you want to say? What?
no, what I wanted to say is I was very happy and thank you for your portrayal of Captain Janeway, bringing a strong female character for men my age and young kids to realize that women were in the background, can be at the forefront, and be strong and commanding.
Thank you. That's very good. Hello. Yes, hello.
I would just like again to thank you because being a female captain is a very big deal.
Go slowly, honey, because there's something about the mic that's a little
Okay.
dissonant or something.
I will go slow.
Thank you.
Thank you though again for being a female captain. It's kind of a big deal to a girl Trekkie.
To be a female, to have a
To
female.
have a female captain, I think. Were you surprised when you did Star Trek by how many women fans you ended up meeting? Because it's generally assumed to be a male kind of dominated.
I thought you were going to say, were you surprised to find yourself a female captain? I'm sorry, now I have to ask you a question again. Was I surprised what, sweetie?
Were you surprised by how many female fans there were, given the way people associate men with Star Trek?
I was delighted. I was delighted. I'll tell you a story about the first season that you'll like to hear, I hope. Mrs. Clinton invited me to the White House the first season to speak to women in science, the foremost women scientists from our nation. And she collected about, how many? About 50 of them. And I was to speak at the Kennedy Center, and then we were going to go back to the White House and have a little reception. I must say that Mrs. Clinton was absolutely gracious. The first thing she said to me was, Chelsea and I watch your show all the time. And I believed it. And then I met Bill, and I really believed it. Anyway, I worked on the speech that I was supposed to make, thinking, how can I possibly address these women? They're so erudite, they're so accomplished, they're really scientists. And I walked up to the podium. Kennedy Center is a very imposing place, right? And I just looked out at these women, and I threw the papers away, and I said what was on my mind, which is, there's no reason on God's earth why I should be addressing you. I should be kneeling before you. I said, I am only playing this on television, but what you're actually saying by your presence here and your reaction to me and your response towards me is that this elevates you. And I had girls stand up and say they were going to MIT, they were going to go out in the field for research, and when they watched Voyager, they went to NASA. They wanted astrophysics. Huge changes were made. It had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with the decision to put a female in the captain's seat. So that, I think of all the moments in those 7 years, with the possible exception of something that happened with my sons, was the most moving. I realized that for them, they understood exactly that I was an actress, but that I had captured the imagination of something that they were therefore given the ability to actually do. That was stunning. Can't you imagine? And then all of you women came aboard. It was terrific. Just terrific. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What does that mean, more cowbell? What on earth does that mean? Oh, is it? Okay. Hello, honey. Here, go slowly and bring it to your, just away from your mouth about 2 inches.